they want you to see. So you may think it's shape-shifting because it's an illusion. It's in your eyes, in your mind. It was a man, and now it's a reptile. You know, I mean, it can change their body. No, their body was always that way. It's how you perceive them. And the other thing I'd like to clear up is these. I get these people who are so sure that all these they're demons. They're not aliens. They're Satan's illusion. They're Satan's trick. They're Satan's deceit. They're aliens.
Okay,
They're demons.
Niels, we got to go for a 3-minute break.
Sure.
I'm going to put you on hold, so don't hang up. But, hey, this is going to get interesting. And also, if anybody wants to call, people are not used to calling in on my show, but about 10 after 8, if anybody has any questions for Niels, you can certainly call 1-253-203-6681. That's 1-253-203-6681. And we're going to go on a 3-minute break, and we'll be right back.
If you would like to hear Night Dreams Talk Radio on your local radio station, let them know. Tell them to check out www.nightdreamstalkradio.com. And thank you.
You're listening to my friend Gary Anderson on Night Dreams Talk Radio, the best in paranormal radio.
And we're talking to Neils Rosenbeck tonight about his abductions with UFOs. Well, are they warm, friendly little creatures, or are they demons? Hey, are you still there?
I am still here.
Okay, well,
they're not warm, fuzzy, and they're not demons.
I don't know what they are, because I tell you something, whatever I experienced back in the early 70s in New Mexico, it still bothers me when I think about it, because how many people have been abducted and don't realize it and been implanted? And that's something you need to really get checked over to see if you are implanted.
Yeah. Well, in my estimate, I more than likely I am, because, like I said, they seem to keep pretty good tabs on me, and it wasn't it wasn't a casual thing, because like I said, this has been going on for a lot of years now. So for whatever reason, I mean, I know, they didn't tell me, but I do know I'm part of genetics program. I know my sons are part of genetics as well. They are definitely doing something with our DNA, and like I said, I have abilities. My sons also have those abilities, which everybody seems to have to one degree or another, but they seem to have tweaked or brought up for whatever reason that I don't really understand either, because, of course, their telepathic abilities and stuff are very, very high, so maybe they're trying to match things up for when they do this hybridization, because there's talk of integration in the future, but that integration probably will come after there is probably a major disturbance on the Earth, and if people make the mistake of accepting their help, to serve man, just like you brought up, that was very apropos, it's going to be the worst thing they could ever do.
How do we know that they haven't actually taken over the world's governments?
Oh, I'm pretty sure they're there. I'm pretty sure that they do run quite a bit. I'm pretty sure that there's the government that we see, that we deal with, that we supposedly, we vote and this and stuff. But there's a government above that government and a government above that, and I think it's a need-to-know basis of who knows exactly all of it, and I think those numbers are few and far between. I think it's international. I don't think the presidents are told anything other than what they need to possibly know. Yeah, it's a government within a government. It's the shadow government. It's the boys who really are running all of the works, and you're talking worldwide. So the big countries, they know what's going on, but they all have vested interests. I mean, everybody likes their flat screens. They like their fiber optics. Life is good. And look how skinny. Remember when we were kids, how big a computer was? Remember even a transistor radio? Look how much things have changed. So everybody's kind of happy with things. And they're not thinking about at what cost did this come from. Nobody's really I mean, our brains did not all of a sudden get ginormous since the 1940s. There was a progression of how things were invented, and it was kind of a learning curve, but something happened then where all of a sudden we had this gigantic jump in technology. I mean, I know what it was, and you know what it was.
Huge. I mean, I've been in electronics all my life pretty much, and I can certainly tell you when I was a kid, there was no such thing as a computer, but what they were in computers was huge. We got a caller. Let's take the caller and see what they have to say. Hi, you're on Night Dreams Talk Radio.
Yeah, hi, this is James. How you doing, Gary?
Oh, fine, James. You have a question for Niels?
Yeah, yes, I do. Did they ever give Neil a reason, their purpose of why they're here and what their agenda is, or what their main plan is?
No, I can only surmise from what years of what's going on. There's, at least from my aspect, it's a genetics program, and they're from talking with other people, and it's basically females that they're hybridizing. They're crossing the breeds. They're, for whatever reason, they're mostly sterile, so they have to have a viable closest to that they can actually produce. So no, they never actually come out and say this. Like I said, this is only me surmising and putting pieces together like a puzzle, because after a while you start getting pieces and you can say, oh, this goes here, this goes there, that goes there, and then it starts to make sense. You start seeing the picture. But no, as I was saying before, it's a one-way street. They tell me what to do, when to do, so on and so forth, and it's pretty much congenial. I mean, you don't think the doctor is yelling at you when he tells you you need to lie down, or you need to do this, or you need to take this vitamin or whatever. It's kind of like that.
Well, let me ask you this, too. Do you think that only one race of aliens have abducted you?
No, several.
It's been several different races. And all these races, do you think they get along with each other, or what's your opinion on that?
Well, again, it's only me surmising. They're here, and obviously they're aware of each other. And as Gary and I were talking about, when I went on that long sojourn, and I got warned to not do that again. There might be some predatory, because I probably am trackable in some fashion. I'm probably chipped, or I don't know what else they could do. Who knows? Different ways that they could find you. I mean, there's things that I read. In other words, I look at information and data, and then I clock it away. And then if something comes up again and it starts showing up, in other words, numerous times, and I know there's something to it. So this planet, when people are saying, "Oh, there's going to be," if they wanted to take us out, they would have done it a long time ago. There's a long-term agenda, and they're doing this very slowly and very gently, and they're doing it with the help of our government.
Well, hey, we're a supply of food. Why would they want to take us out?
Yeah, no, but there's people that just think that, they why didn't they come and, why isn't it just a massive invasion? Because they don't do it that way, and there is an agenda, there is a program going on, and it's apparently it's on track.
Do you ever consider doing a regression hypnosis or checking yourself for a tracking device even?
I have, and I do consider it over and over and over again. But there's part of me that says I really for one thing, there are dubious people out there, and hypnosis is really nothing you really want to fool around with. And if I do have, and I think I do, I have information, I have things that maybe shouldn't be out in the public. So I would really have to find some kind of person that I could trust, and because I want the information. I want to know what happened to me. I remember quite a bit of it, but I know there's tons that I don't remember. And it certainly would make the picture bigger, but there's part of me that sits in there and kind of like runs in the background saying that if I do this, and again, this could be a stop that's put in there automatically when they do this, saying, you can't go talking to people, you can't go explaining this away. There's part of me that's giving me a warning saying that I will mess up a program that's yet to come. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. Thank you very much. And,
you're welcome.
Thanks, Gary, for letting me ask a couple questions.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Well, thank you, James, and have a good evening.
You too.
Okay.
See ya. Bye.
Yeah, I mean, that is the part, that I find it, really eerie. Again, I do think that that's how they do find their victims or their subjects or whatever you want to call it, is when they originally decide to, whatever, they scan an area for human life, that when they abduct somebody, they naturally implant them. It's just been so many people I've talked to have been implanted and documented that they were implanted, that that's how I think they can sit there and abduct you over and over again. Without that, I think, they would find it very hard to be able to do that.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, then you have to ask yourself the question, what makes you worth implanting? In other words, apparently they've chosen a subject and they want to continue the study. Now, you have to ask yourself, what is the marker? Why do they choose?
Random.
I mean, I'm one of millions of people. I'm nobody special. And that's the other thing I want to get over there. I do not have Rh negative blood. Neither do either of my sons, and we were all taken, and we still get taken. So I don't know who's feeding this out there to people that's a special blood type. I don't think it really has to do with your blood type. Again, this is just my opinion. I think it has something to do with maybe where you came from, because I don't know who down the line. I got a feeling they follow you by generations. Just like they got me, now they got my kids, and they may get my grandchildren. I think what they're doing is they're looking to see how, because humans evolve in comparison to other species at an incredible rate. We're very quick to flower, to grow, where other species live a long time, but it's a long time if there is any kind of change. Well, we evolve quickly. So I think what they're doing is that they're looking to see how the DNA or the genome or whatever changes they make, how it's progressed. It's a study. like you say, you're checking animals. You're looking to see how this did and that did. Like when we tag a whale or a deer or a bear, and we want to see what happened. And occasionally you check on their health to see how this is going on and so on. So I put it down to that.
Well, I think